Hey, this is Prometheus giving you the second play breakdown of my Denver scheme, the single back jumbo Z breakdown. This is going to be the audible sets and the passing plays and how to read the defenses. This is going to be a little bit more in depth than my normal breakdown. So if you do like this breakdown being more in depth, please comment below. If you do want to access the other breakdowns, you can go into the run plays, pass plays in the top icon, or click onto the pistol bunch in the third icon. And then if you want to see live gameplay against a real life opponent with the scheme, click on the image of the Broncos right there on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get into this breakdown right now. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the audibles in this formation of the single back jumbos. A lot of these audibles are going to be tacking your opponent to the right side of the field. So you want to basically make those reads very quick and concise, just so you can attack your opponent fairly quickly. So let's take a look at the first audible, which is going to be curl flats against cover 3 blitz. Alright, so against a very common blitz play, which is Mike Scrape, really my first progression, my first progression on the curl flats audible is going to be this wide receiver number 3. I'm going to go ahead and look to see if I can hit him in the flat. So any kind of a blitz that comes after me, I'm going to go ahead and attack that flat, and I'll pick up the easy 5 or 6 yards against my opponent. Also, conversely, I've got basically my two tight ends essentially falling into zones. I could actually go ahead and hit them just because of the coverage. And I probably, if I would have looked this way, I can actually probably hit him before the defender gets in that area. Now against the cover 3, once again we want to go ahead and follow tight end number 3, and he has a defender who actually comes out to him. So my next progression is actually going to be to wide receiver number 1 and see if anybody falls into a zone. Since there's nobody there, that's going to be easy completion that I can go ahead and rifle the ball and pick up a first down. If this defender falls over, then I can actually go ahead and rifle the ball to this tight end right there. So my progressions are going to be very, very quick and concise against any kind of a zone coverage. Now against a cover 2, I've got a defender actually coming down and checking, and I've also got this hook route taken away. But as you can see, against cover 2, there's another exposure right there. I've got this tight end number 1 that should be wide open against cover 2 for an easy completion. So that's why you want to make your progressions off to the right hand side. Basically, the defenders can't cover all of these areas all at once. Now against the cover 4, once again we're going to go ahead and take a look at the tight end number 3, and as you can see, the defender's actually shading him outside. But because it is a cover 4, there's really nobody falling down against my wide receiver number 1. So once again, a fairly easy progression against different types of zone coverage. So against man coverage, and this is actually going to be cover 1 press, I've got basically a defender falling immediately this tight end out to the outside. Demarius Thomas blows this cornerback away, but you know, I don't really try to depend too quickly about using a dominant wide receiver to blow it away, but I probably could have hit that. And then actually in the area, this safety actually comes down in an area where he's actually playing a robber, so he's looking for somebody over the middle. But because these two tight ends actually fall back and hook routes against man coverage, I can actually go ahead and rifle those balls to either one of these two, and nobody can make a play quick enough to take them away. So that's what's good about this particular play, is I can actually go ahead and rifle the ball to any one of these tight ends and pick up a first down with it. I could stay to the right side, but really the smart play is to go to your fourth read against man coverage, just so you keep your opponent honest. Alright, so I'm going to watch the flat route. If nobody comes out there, it looks like it's man. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the hitch route over the middle because it was a man blitz. Looking for the flat, and the flat is not wide open, but I've got tight end number 1 to be able to pick up easy yards. Going to go ahead and look to the flat. Flat is wide open. I'm going to go ahead and take easy yards with the flat with this play. Alright, so the next play we're going to take a look at is going to be the play action Y corner, and basically my progressions or reads are going to be off to the right hand side. I'm trying to go ahead and see if I can hit that corner route by tight end number 1. Now there's a couple of adjustments that I can make with this particular play. I can either take my tight end number 2, which is doing a yellow in route. I can go ahead and take him and audible him to a slant, or I can audible into a drag route, so I've got an underneath route. I usually like doing a slant, but if I need to pull a defender down, I can do a drag. Alright, so once again, with any kind of a cover 3 blitz, or just basically in this play, my first read is going to be the flat tight end. If nobody comes out to my flat tight end, I know that he's going to be naked underneath, and I can actually go ahead and take an easy shot underneath against him and pick up easy yards. And I've got basically a couple of other potential blockers in the area to basically take away some people. So that means I'm flooding the area with 3 blockers. I can be able to pick up some pretty easy yards. Now this play is designed to eat up cover 3 in the corner route, and really what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this tight end once again. I could probably could have took a shot down, but as you can see, this defender actually goes ahead and goes down, and this defender, because of his zone requirements, is not going to go ahead and follow the tight end. He's going to let him go by. Now because I've got a route here by the wide receiver number 1 actually doing a deep post route, he's going to pull this defender in with him, and essentially he's going to take away that third into a half, and that is actually going to go ahead and give me a free area in the corner with my tight end number 1, which is Owen Daniels. You can see right here, great play, able to pick up a good 38 yards on that pass play. Now once again, my first read is going to be my tight end. My tight end number 3 is going to do the auto motion, and really there's no defenders in the area. I can go ahead and check it down. I could have hit the dragging tight end over the middle too for an easy 5-yard completion to be able to go ahead and take that. But what I like about this tight end number 3 is that I actually have a blocker in the area to go ahead and maybe generate additional yards for me. In a cover 2, especially when you got the off coverage, it just takes a long time for this corner route to develop, so that's why you want to go ahead and try to hit those checkdowns when you can. So once again, my first read is going to be the tight end number 1, is he's got a defender in the area. I probably could hit this other tight end that's dragging across the field for an easy completion, but as you can see, the red C is wide open because this deep post route by wide receiver number 1, Thomas, is just clearing out the defender. So it's a very easy progression check that I'm going to be looking at, where I can go ahead and hit that corner route, and you can see right there I was able to pick up a good 15 yards on that play, which essentially would probably be a first down. Now, against man coverage, once again, I've got a defender actually coming down. I've got another defender actually taking my drag across the field. So those two routes are essentially not getting seen at all. Right here, my wide receiver is actually getting blanketed by the corner right there, but as you can see, this corner route, it just gets crazy separation against the defender, able to go ahead and make a completion right in front of a corner to be able to, if I would have let that play develop a little bit more, I probably would have been able to pick up a good 20 yards. Go ahead and take Green and put him on a drag, and I'm going to watch the flat once again. And it doesn't look like there's anybody in the flat. There was a man coverage. I will be able to hit the corner against the man coverage. Once again, drag Green, cancel out the play action, and I'll look for the flat if it's available, and it is. Go ahead and take that flat route and really force my opponent to switch up his defense to cover against it. Drag up Green, cancel out the play action, and once again, I'm going to be looking for the flat. If that's not available, look to the corner. Be able to pick up some monster yards with that corner route because it gets past pretty much everything. And the final audible we're going to take a look at is going to be the flanker's dig. Once again, what we want to do is we want to leave the play basically stock, and really what we're going to be concentrating on is going to be tight end number 3, which is going to be that yellow streak route right in front of that deep in route. Alright, so my first read is going to be this tight end number 3. I'm going to be looking for any, if it's a cover 3 blitz and he falls into the zone, I'm going to go ahead and try to hit that immediately. That should be an easy completion. It's going to force my opponent to hit that, protect that seam or protect against that seam. Now, another read too is if defenders actually float up because he's got over the top coverage, this running back is actually going to be in a void of the area right there where he actually, if the defenders actually follow this tight end and he does over the top, this running back should be wide open for an easy 5-6 yard check down. And then over on the left hand side with tight end number 1, I've got tight end number 1 actually doing a drag route, and there's a levels concept that I can actually hit on the left hand side against other types of zones. So this has really got a nice little attack across the field if I want to go ahead and attack my opponent if he does a lot of cover 3 blitzes. Now against the cover 3, basically I'm going to watch this tight end once again, and this tight end actually, basically, I probably could have rifled the ball to him, but this defender probably could have made a play against that angle where the quarterback is. So really the smart play is to check down. As you can see right here, the running back is wide open. Just a bad pass by Madden, but able to go ahead and pick up an easy 5 yards against my opponent, and I'll have to go ahead and defend against that. Also on the backside too, I've got this deep in route, which if I wanted to wait for this to develop, I can go ahead and rifle that ball because this defender in the flat, even though he floats up, is going to have to come down and take away this running back. So if I want to wait for that to develop, I can. And then on the backside, I've got this high-low concept, which in this particular situation, I would just go ahead and focus more on the right side because this high-low concept is really going to be more attacking for against man coverage. And once again, I've got this tight end actually going to go ahead and hit him right down the middle. Streak is because these zones are actually getting pulled over, a defender actually falls into the zone, and I've got basically I could just wait for that tight end to be actually right down the middle, be able to go ahead and attack my opponent if he falls into a cover 2 zone. The deep end route is essentially going to be blanketed. There's really not going to be any kind of a passing window, and then I've got the check down. So I'm really going to be focusing on my first 2 reads is essentially going to be the following. I'm going to watch this tight end number 3, see if a defender actually follows him, and see if I can go ahead and rifle him in the window. If defenders are actually floating up, I can check down to the running back that's going to be doing the in route to be able to pick up an easy 5 or 6 yards. Once again, against the cover 4, basically I'm going to go ahead and just rifle the ball right to the seam tight end. So your opponent really, with this particular formation, there's going to be these tight ends essentially going to be going into the flat. Now when you start hitting them down the seam, that's just going to be another area. Cover 4 will be wide open, and once again your second read, which is going to be your running back, essentially will be wide open for an easy layup for yards for that. And then on the backside, this is basically what I'll be looking for my man reads. I could hit the flat. I probably could have hit the corner. The flat probably would have been wide open for some easy yards. Now against man coverage press, a defender is actually going to go ahead and trail this tight end, and I've also got a robber in place too to kind of take away this this fast breaking read. So a smart opponent would if you were abusing this play, essentially would switch into this to try to bracket this tight end and try to take him away and with a fast rifle play. So this is really the smart defense to run against him. This will allow you to go ahead and take a shot up top if you really wanted to, but I like to keep this play stock stock. On the back side though, if I don't see, if my guys are too cluttered, I've got this tight end number 1 is actually doing a drag route and he just blows away his man. I probably could have hit that. And if I do have inside position with my tight end number 2, I can do the corner route for an easy 15 or 15 yards for that play. Okay, my first read is going to be tight end number 3 in the seam and see if anybody follows him. It's man coverage. I'll take the check down and pick up the easy yards for 5 or 6 yards. My first read is going to be tight end number 3, but if that's not available, I'll check down to the running back. Back to tight end number 3, and if he's available, I'll take the easy yards right down the seam against my opponent. This concludes this part of the Denver scheme, the single back jumbo Z and the pistol bunch tight end. If you want to see the first breakdown, which is the base run plays and pass play out of the single back jumbo Z, click on the first image. If you want to see the audibles out of the single back jumbo Z, click on the second image. And if you want to go ahead and see a breakdown of the pistol bunch tight end and how I run it, go ahead and click on the third image. And then finally, I have a full live game breakdown against a live opponent and how this works against a live opponent. Now, the single back jumbo Z is a more in-depth breakdown. So if you do like these in-depth breakdowns, please go ahead and hit the comment button and let me know your take. And once again, I really appreciate your support. Until next time.